My name is Owa Gwale. I'm the CEO and Chief Software Architect of Infoware Limited. So why did we decide to build FocusDesk? It had to do with our own experience with our own staff members. One day I was in the office, stayed late. I noticed that the number of our staff members were still around up till around 9 or something like that. So I asked, oh wow, how come one or two was fine, but having like up to 3 or 4 people still in the office seemed a little bit unusual that late. So I asked why? We're in VI, by the way, our office in VI. And they said, oh yeah, they are waiting for the traffic to go down first before they go, because if they had left around that kind of 6 or 7, it may have taken them anywhere from 2 to 4 hours to get home. Wow, 2 to 4 hours. So I also asked, how long does it take for you to get to the office? And it turns out, on average, people could take up to 2 hours to get to the office. And people that sometimes may live so far away, either on the mainland or even in the Caribbean, can take longer. So, and that really bothered me. It really, really bothered me. Because we know that it's not just the 2 to 3 hours that they're using to get to the office. There's also time to prepare just to get to wherever it is they're going to get to. There's also risk in terms of either getting up too early in the morning or getting home too late at night. This was pre-COVID. So then we looked at it and said, okay, we're going to introduce some sort of pseudo working from home kind of thing. And we tried that out. We started doing like 1 day a week for everybody to be able to work from home, just to reduce the stress on people. That had its problems quite all right, because sometimes some people productivity could drop and there was no way of really knowing. And I have a strong belief in never what I call punishing the many for the sins of the few. Just because 1 or 2 people are violating and not doing that properly, that we eliminate it from everybody. So the key was, okay, what can we do to make that thing work for everybody? Then COVID happened, and it kind of accelerated the need to work from home. And that's when I really started thinking about FocusDesk or something that we can use. And by the way, it wasn't just a productivity issue also. One of the things to note is that from what I just said, it meant that people were spending more than half of their time. In a 40-hour work week, people were spending over 20 hours separately just commuting back and forth from work. It meant that they were effectively losing more than 50% of their productivity. And we've done some of the calculations, and for Lagos State alone, it means about 10% of Lagos GDP is lost. Just imagine that. That's over 3 trillion by last calculation, 3 trillion naira equivalent. So that's kind of what led the impetus of it. So we started thinking about it and working on it, and that's actually what led us to come up with FocusDesk, which is, it's a way to empower the employee themselves, right, as well as the managers, to say there is a good enough reason, to enable people to work from home, because it measures your productivity, and you can use that to tell your boss, whether it's your boss, your manager, this is how I'm doing my work. There are also screenshots that can be enabled to show, and you can look at the kind of activities and the applications that you're using, and based on that, all sides can feel comfortable enough to enable people to be able to now have a much more useful and productive life. So imagine if a man or a woman, where you can be there when your kids wake up, and you can be there to have dinner with them and be there when they go to sleep. That, I believe, if you ask most parents, is priceless. That is literally impossible to achieve in Lagos. But with this tool, it enables you to achieve it without losing any productivity. That's why we created FocusDesk.